What's up, guys? Welcome back to another beautiful interview, Rise Elevate podcast. I'm your host, Marcella Seabrook, and I could not be more excited to be back doing interviews. So how you been?
I've been good.
Yeah, anything new?
Just have some upcoming markets.
Yeah.
I'm going to be doing the Charleston Vintage Market.
Okay.
8-4 Fleet and Pickers Hullabaloo.
Wow.
So, some
okay, I know you're
events.
excited for that
Very.
one. And I kind of want to talk about where we met. And I'm sorry, guys, for if you kind of feel like this is an uncomfortable interview already. But I'm trying to step out my comfort zone and talk different.
Yeah.
Instead of being the same 100 and something interviews that we've done.
Yeah.
But at the same time, I want people to get to know where we met. We met at the Charleston Vintage Market.
Yeah.
I was doing public interviews.
You sure
and
were.
she was the one lady to be over there, and I was like, I gotta get her on there. Well, honestly, when I first walked into the Charleston Vintage Market, I saw your booth.
Yeah.
And I liked what the style that you kind of had.
Thank you. I appreciate it.
Because when you walk in the Charleston Vintage Market, you look around.
Exactly.
And everybody kind of, and don't take this personal if you're watching this and you run a booth or anything, but everybody kind of looks the same.
Yeah.
And then
it's just a bunch of clothes,
Yeah.
but I think also with that, the homewares really sticks out just because
Yeah.
majority of the booths are closed.
Right.
So then it's kind of like a fresh set of eyes to look at things.
No, and that's the other thing too, is you have to be different in order to sell out stuff.
Exactly.
If you're stuck trying to be the same like everybody else, then the chances of you selling how much, because you go to Charleston Vintage Market
Yeah.
wanting to sell stuff, not just look pretty and stuff.
Exactly.
So, but for the people who are hearing all the banging and stuff in the back, no, it's nobody fighting or anything. We're not at a club or anything. It is the Thunder in Summerville, South Carolina, that is just going insane.
Yes, we had to
But
keep it tame.
Let's get to where we're actually the main gist of what we're doing.
Let's
Where
do
are you
it.
from?
I am from Lugoff, South Carolina.
Okay.
It's a very small town.
Yeah.
I would like to describe it as a one-stoplight kind of town.
Yeah, I've never as what is it, a Charlestonian? Is
Yeah,
that what it is?
Charlestonian.
Charlestonian.
Yep.
As a Charlestonian, I've never heard of that before. So for some people who kind of don't get the gist of a small town in South Carolina, can you
Yeah.
describe what it was like growing up there?
Basically, everybody knew everybody.
Mm-hmm.
We only had a few elementary schools that would funnel down to 2 middle schools that would funnel down to 1 high school.
Whoa.
So you basically grew up with everyone and that was in your age group, and it was consistent all throughout.
Did that
schooling.
make a big factor in not just your upbringing, but who you were as a person growing up?
I
Or-
think living in a town like that, I think it was a good thing for me personally, because when I moved out, I was so used to everyone kind of knowing me.
Yeah.
And so when I went to Coastal and I was at a majority out-of-state college, it's 75% out-of-state, 25% in-state.
Yeah.
So I finally got to be in an element where nobody knew me. And so I had to really burst out my bubble, because almost my whole life, everybody just knew each other.
Yeah.
And so I liked that. I experienced that when I was younger, and then when I got to a defining age of 18, going to college, being able to start fresh and really grow my personality.
Right. Which, growing up in a small city, some people I feel are more successful to be able to be themselves, because they don't have to look around at all the craziness going on.
Yeah.
I went to Wando High School, which we're not going to, dig into high school yet.
Yeah.
But my high school, I think there was 1,500 people in my class.
Wow.
That's a lot
That's
of
a
people.
lot.
And that's a lot of trying to figure out your identity, your friend
Yeah.
group, dang, that thing's going crazy out there.
It is.
But yeah, I just think it's important to know that if you are a person in a small city, you're not alone.
Yes.
Chase your dreams, but don't allow yourself to be stuck to where you don't know what you want to do.
Exactly.
Because I feel the big crowds actually point you into the direction of at least something to do. You know what I mean?
Exactly.
Because you're getting into something.
And that kind of circles back to when we first had our first interview, and I was saying there's so much going on, just to be you. My message to the youth was just be you. I think that circles back to that, because if you're in a bigger environment with a bunch of people around, you almost feel like you see everything and you're trying to find, well, where do I fit in?
Right.
But if you're just you, then you'll find your find your niche.
Yeah, and that's and I like to be different. I like to talk about different stuff. That's why, like I said in the beginning of the interview, I struggle and I mess up sometimes because like me growing up, I was pivoted to like trying to become what my surroundings were. And now that I'm starting to, I've really found myself.
Yeah.
I don't know. It's hard to explain, but
it's like that. Like when you're younger, that's the whole point of growing up.
Exactly.
It's like you don't really know what you want to be yet. You're kind of figuring it out. And so I feel like that's completely normal.
Right.
And then you grow into yourself as you age. And now you're kind of more
you're
in
a butterfly.
Your own bubble.
Yeah, you're a butterfly.
You're in a cocoon, now you're flying.
You're flying. So can you tell people what, and this is for like the people who mainly know you, but what elementary school did you go to? I know you said that it all kind of intertwined in one school, right? So like
I went to Watery Elementary School. Okay. It was like 5 minutes from my house.
Wow.
Yeah.
So you like walked to school and stuff? Or?
I did not, but I definitely could have.
Yeah. You're like, I'm not doing it though.
I was not doing that.
What do you remember the most going to that school, or even just like high school, just the experience of school?
I feel like being in a small town, the benefit of it is that the people genuinely care about what they're doing. I guess because everybody knows everybody, maybe it's a reputation thing. I don't know the reasoning behind it, or they just love what they're doing. That could be a big thing. But I feel like elementary, middle school, high school, the teachers genuinely cared about what they did. And so it wasn't like they were just doing it for a paycheck kind of thing.
And that's cool because, where I went to school, it was like some teachers were really not. I felt like they didn't want to do it. They like, especially if I saw a teacher smoking cigarettes outside. Yeah. Like nothing wrong with the habit, but it's like, what if your job is stressing you out that much to have to. I feel like if you smoke cigarettes, you're stressed. I get vapes and stuff because that's like on the go.
Yeah.
But like cigarettes, oh man, I feel like you're just stressing at that point. But
I agree.
That's a different topic. But middle school, it was kind of the same. But what were you like, I know you, as a growing up, you kind of do like Barbie dolls and stuff. Like, would you particularly say you took that route as a, growing
That's
up?
So
or
funny
were you a like outdoors girl?
No,
you know what I mean?
I get
I don't
what you're
know,
saying.
not trying to say it in a weird way or anything.
No, I get it.
Trying to get to it.
I definitely was the girl. So my mom tells me this now at my age, but I would come home from like school and I would change my outfit and I'd put like plastic heels on and like a princess dress and like walk around the house. So I was like, that kind of person.
Did you like see yourself to be in like pageants and stuff growing up?
I actually ended up doing pageants. So I guess little me was like, we're going to do this.
How'd that feel? Like, did it feel like, at that age you don't really know, but was it satisfying doing it, or was it something?
I think I just always had a niche or a love for fashion. That's a big thing that I've loved ever since I was really little. Even like the TV shows I watched or the movies, like I would watch The Nanny when I was younger, which like Fran Fine is an icon in fashion, especially like 90s fashion. And then later went to like in middle school, I'd say I watched a bunch of reality TV, which that's a whole other tangent.
What's like one that
like the Real Housewives? Okay, so New York, Luann's my favorite.
Okay, no, that's cool.
And so I think I was always around just like, or the things I was attracted to was focused on like fashion, which I think now translates to me doing the homewares, because I think all of those things coincide, like art, fashion, home decor, like they're all like an art form.
Do you think that like what you do at a younger age like transcends to when you're older, like for a reason, or is it you know what I mean?
I'm not sure. I know for like my case specifically, like speaking for me personally, I think it transcended to who I am today. But I think everyone's story can be very different. I think you can have like a groundbreaking epiphany and then completely do a 180 and be a whole different person.
I just feel like it always leads to something though. Like I grew up getting told I asked a lot of questions. We're sitting here and I'm asking you a lot of questions. So it kind of like, I feel like things do kind of transcend to like what it should be, but it's up to you to be able to like find out that
exactly, because you're the dictator of your own domain.
So what's some advice you can give to anybody who's coming out of high school or just even going into high school, or just something in that realm of like teaching.
Yeah.
That lightning's going crazy. I'm
It is going
sorry.
crazy.
I hope you guys aren't getting affected
He
by it.
has
but-
something to say. And we need to listen.
No,
He's
right.
getting mad.
He is getting very mad. It's
Yeah.
hard to like stay locked in too, like, and do all this, whatever. You know, you've seen
Yeah.
the process that before.
It is actually incredible. We need to
No.
highlight his process. It is amazing how to the T professional, has a regiment for everything, very structured. So pat on the back to
No,
you.
I appreciate
It's amazing.
It's really hard. That's why, like, you know, in the beginning, what we did, like, I mess up and stuff. It's like, I just feel like I'm going to mess up, you know what
Well,
I
that's
mean?
just human.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But, like, you program yourself to be so perfect. To,
Exactly.
Like, you know, but anyways, I do want to ask, what's some advice you can give to anybody going into high school?
I would say high school is probably one of the toughest times throughout your life. I think a lot of high school experiences, trying to find your niche, but you're also in an awkward stage of life.
Yeah.
And so you're trying to find a niche in a thing where you're not really fully who you are. And then it's also, I think at that time, you're looking around at everyone and like almost comparing yourself.
Yeah.
It's a big comparing
It's like
years.
social media, but IRL, because you
Exactly.
have to see people even that you don't talk to every day.
Yeah.
You know, for depending on the type of high school or school you go to.
Exactly.
It could be for a whole 12 years.
Yeah.
Instead of it being split in half.
Yeah.
And, you know, so.
And so I think it's important to just realize that it's a tough time in your life. And if you think about it that way and then realize when you either go to college, go to a technical school, or go to a trade, whatever you decide to do after that, or pursue your career, which is like podcasting, whatever it is.
Yeah.
Just know that those are going to be your defining years.
Yeah.
And that what happens in high school is just high school, and everyone forget about it
How'd
later
you
anyways.
feel about your high school? Just like, I know you went to one school type thing, but
Yeah.
how'd you feel about your like 9th, 10th grade, 11th? Did you feel like you accomplished what you wanted, or you feel like you could have did more?
That's a great question. I definitely was super involved in school. Like I did sports and extracurriculars. I did like the special, we had a program called the Be a Fan Club, and it was like where student bodies could go in and be a part of classes with the special needs program.
Wow.
And that was like, I figured out, okay, I need to do something with special needs kids later on in life, which I'll get to that later.
Right.
But hi, buddy.
I'm sorry.
I love it.
Gimme.
It's okay. And so, yeah, so I was very involved in school, but I was also someone who had a very small circle of friends. And then I was someone who a lot of people perceived me a lot of different ways, but didn't
Yeah.
actually know me. And so it was interesting because I had a very tough high school experience. Not tough,
Right.
but a lot of people were mean to me, only because they made like assumptions of who I was rather than knowing me. And so it's funny, like one of the girls that our parents are friends, we went to a beach trip, and she came up to me and she was like, I thought you were like a mean girl in school.
Wow.
But she was like, I also didn't know you. Like I was just going off of like what people said.
Yeah.
And like, so that's the thing being in a small town, because like one person could say one thing and then everyone just assumes that's what it is without like coming to the source
To
and
actually
like
confront about
and
the
finding
whole,
out who someone is.
Yeah.
And so I think with that, I think it was a tough time because I was also in those are the years where you're like kind of awkward in general.
Yeah, definitely.
And then having that, so
I feel like though, like your family too can kind of play a big role.
Yeah.
In those type of situations, because like let's say you got all these people in your high school and stuff not in your corner, but you go home and you have
exactly.
And I think that's when it plays the whole how it eats you up in the head. Because if you don't have family or anything, then you go home to nothing.
Exactly.
Like it just
I did have my friends were ride or die friends, good support system throughout that time, and then like my family as well. So like I did have a good support system that didn't really get to me, but sometimes everyone's human. It's just like when people read a bad comment on social media or whatever, they're like, oh, that sucks.
No, right.
But then you move on. You're like, whatever, it's a day.
Do you feel like social media played a role in your high school or anything? Or
I don't think so.
Not trying to bring up age or anything, but like what age was like a cell phone brought to your attention?
Funny. I had a phone at a pretty young age, like middle school.
Wow.
7th
What kind?
grade.
Do you remember?
It was the original, like the old iPhone.
Okay.
It was
like the iPhone 2,
It was the first or second, and it looked like an iPod.
Yeah. Oh,
because
yeah.
it had the curved back and the small little camera.
No, that's actually funny because that's when YouTube had the TV logo. You know what I mean?
Yes.
It wasn't the actual like play button thing.
Yeah.
It's like so that's cool.
Isn't that weird how those things change over
that's
time?
where I
think they tried to do it as like grabbers to see how much we're paying attention.
No, grabbers, and then like a generational thing. Like let's say in 20 years they're gonna have a new YouTube thing.
They're like rebranding.
They just rebrand it.
Yeah,
it's smart. I mean,
it is smart.
Doing podcasts for 3 years, like you should have seen the first one.
Yeah,
you know what I mean. Like I didn't have none of like it was so
exactly.
You have to, or even just rebrand yourself consistently. Just some stuff isn't going to be brought to attention. You know what I mean.
Yeah, exactly.
I wanted to ask, what was after high school for you? Did you graduate?
I did.
Okay.
I graduated high school and then I went to Coastal Carolina.
Wow. What would major?
I majored in biochem when I first went, my first semester and second semester, and then ended up changing sophomore year to communications because it was way too much. I like course load wise.
No, it's hard to. College is just like a different ball game. So what? Maybe like what's something you could tell anybody who doesn't want to like invest a lot of money in college, but like is going to. You know what I mean? 'Cause
there's so many different avenues.
Yeah.
I think even now, like looking back, I wish I did a trade because at that time you're just not. Or speaking for myself, being 18. And trying to decide what you want to do for the rest of your life. That's like not an age to know what you want to do. You don't even know who you are yet.
You don't.
To decide, hey, this is what I want to do
you
for
think that
30 plus years.
College is at that age kind of scam? Because they force you after high school to kind of be like, oh, you should be going to not should be, but I mean,
they act
they
like
do.
almost. And that's funny you say that. I told one of my friends one time because she didn't go and she was like saying, I don't know how to feel. I was like, that's a society thing. Like like a society pressure almost to be like, hey, you need to go to college to get a certain paycheck or whatever. That's not the case.
Or just in that moment.
Yeah.
Because college is helpful, but you don't have to go at 18.
But you don't have to.
Yeah.
You can make money so many different ways.
Yeah,
if that's
agree.
like I think it's more important to pursue your dreams, which is why I think college right off the bat isn't beneficial because you don't know who you are when you finally decide or like get to know yourself and then you can decide what you want to do and then move forward accordingly from there. If that's going to trades, going to college, doing an entrepreneurship where you're your own boss, whatever that is.
Yeah, and some people just don't have anybody to tell them that.
Yeah.
Because their family or whoever it is they're staying or, is like, you got to go to college, buddy.
Exactly.
It's time. We want you out the house. You've lived here for too long,
You're like, don't kick me out. Yeah, I got to figure out my stuff out.
Do you think that, what's one bad thing you noticed about going to college, though? Other than the money part, but, like, what's something you noticed that, like...
Coastal specifically it had a saying, it's not college, it's coastal.
Yeah, I've heard a lot about coastal.
Yeah, so it was that school specifically.
Were you walking in knowing what you to expect? Like, my
sister went there.
Yeah,
so I kind of knew what I was signing myself up for.
Yeah.
And I was ready for it. But at the same time, that school specifically, more people chose to have fun than care about college. Yeah. So at the end of the day, you're wasting your money or your parents' money, and that can be something that like later on you look back on and you're like disappointed about.
Done that.
Yeah,
but I mean, dude.
Like, but at the same time, it's life.
Yeah, it is life.
That's part of life.
And what do you expect to, go into your first year on your own?
Exactly.
Like on your own.
Free will, basically.
Dude. I'm so glad I never went to college because, like, I told you my story off air.
Yeah.
And it's like, I don't think I would be alive. Because it's like, I just see a lot of my friends who get out of college, Clemson, Carolina mainly. And I'm like, 4 years go by so fast.
Exactly.
Them 4 years are insanely fast.
Yeah.
And then I, see them after that, and I'm like, I'm glad I could not imagine it. You know what I mean? So, I'm
also a big one. I don't think everything is for everybody. like the school system in general, I think is very messed up. Like how it's orchestrated, expecting so many people from different, like we all have different brains. We all have different ways of understanding and learning. And they're expecting us all to like climb the same tree when we're all different kinds of brain. Like,
or to even just pay attention in class.
Yeah, exactly. Like some people only have, AKA me, an attention span for like I'm like squirrel. If I get bored, my brain starts running, and then I'm no longer listening to whatever's going on in front of me.
Yeah, that's how
AKA
I am too.
ADHD.
Yeah, that's how I didn't know I had it until I started doing content, and then like you see me, I'm like, if this doesn't look good, we're not doing it. Like just everything, like I'm just so fast paced with everything, and everything has to make sense. So after college and stuff, because do you feel like is there anything kind of you would want to tell somebody that is walking into college, or what's like something like, do you think what the not just coastal but the environment of college is something that should be not happening? Like I know we kind of talked about it, but
I definitely think
I don't know if that makes sense. I feel like I'm not we've kind of already talked about that.
But I definitely can say, like, people going into college, just start. It's like a great place to start fresh. If you don't know anybody going into it, or if you do, I recommend you just still like reach outside your group.
Do you think the teachers were actually teaching? If that makes sense. I want to dig deep in a little bit of college. If you want me to be
so honest, I probably didn't go to class enough to realize.
But like the teachers
I definitely
that you did,
think they cared.
Yeah.
But also Coastal's a smaller school, like compared to huge colleges like University of Alabama or like top 10 schools. I think they might have a different experience since Coastal is so small. Like our classes weren't like, I feel like they've gotten
bigger
people.
Though. Like
it has gotten bigger.
The football team like was getting big, and I think that's when they kind of got bigger. Honestly.
It definitely has gotten bigger, but I still think it's like considered small. Like our classes were like 30 to 40 people, and like USC has like hundreds of kids in one class.
Yeah, I know.
Like we didn't have to sit in like stadium seats, like in a little Coliseum room to be in class listening to professor.
Right.
So,
what's some advice you can get to anybody to go to class?
You wake up and try to do the late classes.
I can imagine.
Don't do the early morning ones.
Yeah, I could not imagine that. That's probably like the thing too, is like missing a class. No, like what happens if you miss a class? Obviously, you miss.
You had to like catch up on your work. Hopefully, you have a friend that.
They don't get on you though, right?
No, like they're literally there to just sit there, teach you, and if you're there or not.
Wow.
Like, and then if nobody shows up. Like, we had this week, the first week of Coastal, where, like, there was something going on every week, every day of the week, the first week. And so nobody would really go to class.
Wow.
And so the first week, the professors probably walked in the door and then was like, nobody's here, and then just left.
Went home.
Got a paycheck for nobody showing up.
Dude.
But they don't have to care. They don't get paid to care.
No.
Like, in the sense of...
It's not like high school.
It's not like high school. No. They're not invested to that extent.
No, that's... would you ever be a teacher?
No.
I just wanted
That
to ask.
Is so funny you say that. Actually, no, I could not see myself being a teacher.
Yeah.
I think that's a lot to take on.
You talk about attention span. You got to have an attention span for that.
You have to. And I do not.
Yeah.
And nor do I have a passion behind it. I think you would really have to be passionate about teaching. And that's just not something that fits in my realm of passions.
What was after high school for you?
So I went to college, was there for...
Or not high school, sorry. I'm over
after college.
Yeah, what was after college?
I actually moved here.
Wow.
So...
Charleston, South Carolina.
Moved to Charleston.
So, like, you don't have to go in depth, but what part where at in Charleston in particular?
So, when I first moved here, I lived in North Charleston. Then went to Nexton area, which is right past Somerville for... and it's kind of a newer area.
Yeah.
And so, everything...
Booming.
It's booming now. Like, I go back and I'll see it and I'm like, there's 100 new things that they just popped up.
Yeah.
It's actually impressive.
I'm like kind of scared because, I'm not far from it where we're at now. And I'm like, I don't think that this apartment or this is a small, and I'm not trying to dig deep where like, where I live or anything.
I love this neighborhood.
It's a small neighborhood, right?
Yeah.
But I just see Nexton getting so big that they could just come over and purchase this like 40 house neighborhood.
I hope not.
Yeah, I mean, I kind of do.
Hopefully they go to like Cane Bay because that, you know what I mean?
They're bigger than Nexton though.
I know they
so
are.
they have to come this way. You know
I agree.
what I mean? We're
Yeah.
just that close to it.
This is the only option.
There you go.
Yeah.
And so I don't know. But yeah, you know, you lived in North Charleston and all that.
And then Nexton.
Have you been enjoying the process of living in Charleston though?
I have. Like when I first moved here, I had only vacationed here when I was like younger. So I didn't really know much about Charleston at this age.
Yeah.
Like being able to go experience things outside of like a planned family schedule.
You know how they say when you go on vacation to places and you come back to live and it's, you know what I mean?
It's
like
different.
Is it what that was? Like, did it feel like when you vacate here, how you lived here? Because I've been to a lot of states and like vacate, like Las Vegas.
Yeah.
I'm never living there.
Oh, yeah,
I'll
I don't blame
vacation
you.
there.
Yeah.
I'll go there for fun, but I'm
Yeah.
never living there. Is that kind
I
of how
don't
it
blame
was, Charleston? Or?
No. So, well, when we had vacation, I'd go with a friend to Edisto. So, like, that's not in Charleston, but we'd swing through Charleston. And then sometimes I'd come to Charleston for, like, a day trip or whatever when I was able, like, right when I got 16, I started driving literally anywhere I possibly could go. I would come up here for, like, a day and then go back home. Yeah.
What's your shopping preference? Like, where do you...
It used to be, I used to buy from, like, the boutiques or whatever. Now that I do the vintage homewares, I'm a big thrifter. So that has changed. Like, I'm not as big of going in and getting like mass produced items.
Yeah.
I like to thrift them and go secondhand.
You sew or anything like that?
That is something I want to learn how to do.
Yeah.
I actually just followed this girl funny on Instagram last night, and she does like tutorials for beginners of how to sew on Instagram Reels.
Wow.
And so I'm like, great, this is
Might
exactly
as
what I
well
needed.
start. Yeah. So, you know, what were you doing? Like, were you working while living? I mean, obviously you were working, but like, what was your daily schedule? Like, what were you doing?
Yeah. When I first moved here, I was like, I want to meet a bunch of people because I didn't really know anybody. And so I got right into food and bev. I worked at Eli's Table downtown.
Serving?
Yeah.
Okay. Do you like it?
I did. I met a lot of my friends that way, so that was the best part. We had a great dynamic of we were all around the same age, majority of us, and so we'd go to work, hang out after, and so I was like, this is a great way to start. I met a bunch of people.
Money was good.
The money was good.
That's good.
But they're like reconstructing right now, and they've been doing it for a minute.
So they might,
So I don't know what's going on.
Like,
I'm like, no, not my place.
Job.
That started me.
Yeah, no, I feel that. So
Literally.
after like obviously the reconstruction thing, you kind of just went into your own
Well, I
business or
before the reconstruction, they asked me if I wanted to work at the corporate office because it's like the Charleston Hospitality Group, so they own a couple of chains.
yeah,
like,
T-Bones. Is that not mistaken, right?
No.
Downtown Charleston.
they do Eli's Table, Honky Tonk and Ladson.
Oh, that
Toast,
group. Okay.
and one more, John King.
Yeah. Okay.
So they do those restaurants, and so I went to the corporate office, worked there as like a hiring manager. So basically people would come in and see me and I'd be interviewing
Hey,
them.
you probably killed it.
I was like, you got the job. I'm like, you showed up, you're dressed,
You're
you're on
good.
time, whatever.
That's funny.
I was like, I'm easy to please. So that was nice. I definitely probably got them well staffed up. They
Yeah.
probably liked that. And then after that, I ended up doing wine sale repping for a small wine company called Cardell International Wines.
Wow. Do you like wine? I'm assuming.
I did, but I really started liking wine after
Yeah,
that.
I can imagine. Well, you probably got like what, free bottles?
Yeah.
Yeah.
You got to, your job literally consisted of going to restaurants, wine bars, and presenting them wine.
Yeah,
new
advertise,
wine.
selling.
You
sales.
drink it with them,
Wow.
and obviously not like a mass consumption.
No,
you do like
yeah.
a small little, and then whichever one they like, you end up bringing it back to them. And we had a thing of like appreciation almost. So
Yeah.
if someone bought bottles of wine, depending on what they bought, we would like, he would bring me to the restaurant. Like I would go, I had a company card and I could just buy something from there. So I
Okay.
got the benefits of like drinking wine all day. And
What's
then
what's some advice you can give to anybody who's never drunk wine before?
It is definitely acquired taste.
Yeah, I
It's
feel
not
like-
made for everybody. But I think it's just like beer or every alcohol is like made for a specific taste bud. But wine is something that is there's a lot of knowledge that goes behind it. There's a lot of of the cultivation process that I think people who are like considered wine snobs, they just like appreciate the whole
you
construction
think about
of
wine,
it.
you kind of think money.
Yeah.
Like in some aspects.
Yeah.
There's some wine that costs a lot of money.
Yeah.
The older it gets, the more expensive it gets.
Exactly.
So,
And the bottles we sold were like not mass produced bottles. So we would go from like, we sold Spain, Bosnian, Portuguese. Those are all three I could think of. Oh, and Slovenian wine. And all of the bottles were less than 350 bottles made.
wow.
So it was very niche group of like clientele who could purchase them because they were very expensive compared to like other bottles.
Yeah, that sounds crazy. I've never had anybody come on here even talking about wine. That's why I was like, just kind of digging into it a little bit. But after that happened, when did you start everything like Retro Chick? And like, when did that start?
I decided to get out of wine cell repping because I just saw how the job was just drinking and eating, and it was fun. But I mean, I was 21 at the time, so I was like, "This is great time to do it." Then after a year, I was like, "Okay, I need to do something else." And so that's when I went to real estate school, got my real estate license, started doing real estate.
Wow.
And West Ashley.
How was that process of getting it? Did you have to like meet somebody, or like how do you become a realtor?
So I went to a school in Mount Pleasant off Johnny Dodds Boulevard. And it's like a 3 to 6 months course, and it's split up into two different units, unit 1, unit 2. And so you learn all about like the state and national exam to prep you for that. And then after that, you have to apply for the National Realtor Association. And then you get an application, you apply, then you go in and you take the exam. And the exam is something that some people do really good with, some people really struggle with. I think for me, like, I struggled with it at first. I'm also not, like I told you earlier, I have the attention span of like pretty short. And so I think sitting down there and doing 2 tests that are super long back to back was just a lot.
What's something you could tell anybody who's failed one time the test or 2 times and needs that extra push to do it again?
Well, I can speak from experience. It's definitely very disheartening. And it almost makes your drive kind of get pushed back a little bit. But reach out to people in your class. That's what I did. I reached out to people who I went through the course with and was like, hey, where are y'all at? And then they kind of told me they were in the same position. And I was like, okay, now I know I'm not alone. And then I just continued to like push for it because it was almost, I'm one of those people that if I really want to do something, I'll go full-hearted at it.
That's a good thing.
Yeah, it can be, but then in cases,
chances make champions.
Yeah,
if you don't have that mindset, you'll never. I mean, not saying never, but the chances of the things you want in your life are gonna come slim.
I
because
agree.
you don't have that willpower to force yourself. You know, even like everything we're doing now, like I had to sit here and I told you my life before. I shouldn't even be alive. So to have the time to sit down and be like, let me do everything right, like that is the drive. You know, like I'm here to change people's lives and have people have a story like how we're hearing your story. So,
I have a question for you.
Yeah, go ahead.
Since you said the thing about like you're not, do you think that you're still here for a purpose of like doing this?
No,
like
I'm
bringing
not.
light?
So this sounds, and I mean this respectfully, but this right here is like a decoy.
Yeah.
This is it's like a Ponzi scam, but in a positive way.
Yeah.
Because everything I do, gaming, positive, or just like public interviews.
Yeah.
I want it all to lead back to the message, which is, be yourself.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Just stuff that I do. Like,
so you're like spreading kindness.
That's all I want. Like,
and
I already know I'm placed on this planet to spread love and to help people.
And this is how you do it.
And this is how I do it.
That's great.
I already have everything I want, you know, like this house, a car, fiance that I've been with for 9-10 years.
Congratulations.
And,
that's
you
very
know,
sweet.
so it's like the more that I wake up every day, I'm like, I don't need money or anything. As long as I have this and doing this and having great people like you who are willing to tell their story, then we can fix what's going on in the world. You know?
agree.
It's impossible, but the word possible isn't impossible.
Yep,
so
it is.
It's like, you know what I mean?
I agree.
So I appreciate you even asking that, because a lot of people, they kind of get confused with like what we do, but the whole message of what we're doing is to teach people you can do anything.
I think that your page is a great like representation of that.
Thank
I
you.
think if people take the like, if you're watching this, take time to scroll through his page.
Yeah, I
watch his
appreciate it.
messages. Like you are spreading positivity and kindness and love into the world, and it like reflects back to you. So that's a beautiful thing.
I appreciate it. And
yeah.
I think honestly, it's from trauma and like, my background, how I grew up.
Yeah.
I didn't have a father figure. I didn't have really a mother figure.
Yeah.
And just all that. And I think when you kind of like, I don't know, this is not my interview, but when you really put your life into how fast it can happen and you don't do nothing to like show anybody how to be themselves and love other people, then that's the only way we can fix the world.
I agree with that.
And we have to do it at a younger age. Like I can't tell someone who's 30 how to love somebody.
Yeah.
Like that I can, but that should already be something you've learned at that age. That's why so but I do want to talk about your business and everything that you got going on. How did you come about making the name? Because Retro Chick is crazy. Like, so how did that come about, like the name and everything?
Actually, I loved the 70s, which we spoke about in our first interview. And I just thought, okay, another word for 70s, like retro, funky, like...
Funky's cool.
Funky, but that doesn't go as well as retro.
No, and it's not as professional. But, I mean, just saying. But retro is really cool, though.
Yeah, and so I was just like, let's run with that. And then... I wanted like the last part of it having homewares. Like I wanted to identify what I do.
So did you were already like doing both at the same time when you started, or was it like, just homeware stuff only and then clothes, or like what was that process?
I did homeware strictly when I first started. The first market I ever went to was a Halloween market, and it was a good experience for me because I brought everything, like all of my inventory. I threw it on the table.
What type of inventory?
Just like knickknacks, lamps, art.
Just Halloween stuff? Or was it just
some
like...
was seasonal.
It was just during the time of Halloween.
It was just during...
Okay, I just wanted to make sure.
Yeah, it was during the time of October. I definitely do always have like seasonal pieces to cater to like whatever holiday is coming or whatever. So I did have some like Halloween festive things. But I brought everything out the woodworks. And then I learned really quick, okay, don't do that. Make sure... Now I kind of have a different system where I like... hand select things catered to the event. So that was a great learning moment.
But you have to put yourself in uncomfortable positions in order to grow.
Exactly.
And that right there is putting yourself in uncomfortable. The fact that you were able to bring all the big toys and everything out to get everything going and to sell, that's the drive,
That was the drive. But
you're
then
like, I gotta get some money.
I was like, we're throwing everything out here.
Yeah, no, right.
But then I learned from that one, okay, now I'm going to cater to each market and kind of what they offer. So I do that still now. And then I actually just started doing clothes, like adding clothes as of like 2 months ago.
How's that been?
It's been good.
Lived up to what you would expect it to be, or? Definitely
my inventory is not where I want it to be because it's all about sourcing, and like sourcing takes time to find the exact things you want to offer. So of course, like I pick pieces that I like and I would hope other people like. And I try to cater to so many different styles, which can be kind of difficult with clothes.
I mean, it's impossible because it's like every person is different.
Has their
it's
own
not
new
gonna
thing.
just, you can't, So what's one style that you've noticed is the most popular?
Like Charleston Vintage Market, those people really like the Y2K style.
Yeah.
I don't really offer anything like that, but I can see that that's like what they like.
That's
the
good for
females
you
go
though,
to.
because then you're sticking out too. You're not like you're not doing all what they're doing, and that's more of a chance for you to sell than.
I agree with that.
5 other stores with Y2K stuff,
Yeah.
So,
and I also have a bad problem with, I am a girl who has like 100 jackets, like in my closet. I don't know why, because I live in South Carolina, but a girl loves a jacket. And so when I go out like sourcing for the clothes, I gravitate towards jackets.
You're like, jacket.
So I'm like, I have so many jackets and I can't sell all these during like
it's
summer.
It's weird because that would be me too. I'm not going to lie. I just bought 2 basically winter jackets yesterday, and I'm like, It's not
Where am I
gonna,
gonna wear this?
yeah, like it's not gonna be winter anytime soon.
Yeah.
Like, I'm just addicted to like winter clothes. And,
Me
like,
too. I
just
think winter and fall is the best, like for fashion.
And it does get kind of cold in Charleston, like the South Carolina. It gets kind of cold like during that time. But what's your favorite season? Like
fall.
Fall.
All day. I like how it's not too hot, not too cold. You get to see the leaves change. That's so pretty.
Right.
And then it's still great weather. You can still go out to the beach, but it's not like you're like burning in the sun when you're out there.
No,
so that's
right.
nice.
Yeah, Kiwi, can you stop? I feel like Kiwi's jumped up here like 5 times.
What a cutie.
I can't, like, keep doing it. But I was going to ask, what is something you could tell anybody who just is struggling to take that first leap in entrepreneurship?
You starting off is very scary, only because you don't know what to expect. You don't know how it's going to turn out. You don't know if you're even going to like it to start off with, because really it's a gamble. Like if you might like doing it, but would you like doing that every day to make money, kind of thing?
Yeah.
So it's a big risk starting off. But I think you have to take risks. Like everything in what you were saying earlier, like everything in life that's worth it is a risk that you took to get it. So just go for it.
You have to.
And you can't go 1 foot in. You have to jump in head first
And stay.
and just keep swimming.
That's how I am. It's like live or die, or live by the gun, die by the gun. But with the podcast and stuff. You know, I'm not gonna. But I mean, I think just in general, like your journey so far, talking to you and stuff, it's really crazy because a lot of people probably would have quit, especially after the college part. You know what I mean? It's a very slim chance that some people make it out of college and really do something with their lives. And I mean that respectfully, because it's like, I don't know. I think college is a trap. And
I think so
that's
too.
kind of what we talked about earlier. But, I just wanted to say congratulations on making it out through all the stuff that you've been through.
Thank you.
Because we could sit here. Yeah, I appreciate it. We could sit here and talk about all this stuff, all day. But like, I know you talked in the beginning about some events that you have coming up. Do you have anything else you working on, or like what's something that you want people to know other than like events and stuff, like what's like a dream collab, or like just something you're trying to manifest?
I love that you asked that. My dream is to be an interior designer.
Wow.
So it's kind of playing, if you see from both sides, like I do real estate with the houses, and then I do the homewares business. So I pick pieces that I like, and then I'm not curating it in people's homes, but that's eventually where it will lead to.
Right.
But hopefully I can start conjoining the two things, and like selling a house and then starting to decorate stuff with my pieces.
That'd be genius.
So that's my end goal game. I've always liked interior design. My mom's friend from my hometown lets me decorate her house from time to time when I was younger. And so I was like, I really have a passion for this.
No, that's so cool, because that's actually really smart. Like to get all the stuff inside. Like let's say, what is it, open house? Yeah. You get an open house and then you decorate it instead of it being like, let me find some people to go, have to decorate it for me. So that's really cool. That's like a jack of all trades thing right there.
Yeah, I'm big on that. My dad is a jack of all trades, and I think I got that character development through him.
You have to.
Yeah, because he just does a bunch of different things at one time. Yeah. And I feel like I really embodied that. Like after college, I did a welding class. Never picked up a tool in my entire life. But you know what I mean, not like actually working.
But I mean welding tool. You know what I mean? Like that's real deal stuff.
And just did it just to try something different, because I was like, let me put myself out of my comfort zone. I'm big on that. I don't ever want to be like stagnant. I always do things that like push me out of my little orbit, and it works out for the better, because then it expands what I can do, as well as like just pushing yourself. I feel like when you push yourself all the time to try new things, you never feel stuck in an environment.
Never.
Yeah, never.
I feel like I've never, like people go like, how do you not run out of ideas with videos and doing this, or being able to do questions and stuff nonstop? And it's like, I don't know. It's just, I don't know.
You have a passion for it.
Yeah, I think like it gets to a point where you can't explain it. Yeah. It's
you either get it or you don't.
And I'm cool with that. I love it, honestly. I fight for people who don't have that drive. Yeah. That's, what this whole platform was. But Yeah, I feel like we covered a lot. We could sit here and talk all day. I do want to
100%.
ask, what's your social media? Do you have a website or anything?
Yeah. So my Instagram is at retrochic.homewares. And then my personal Instagram is Maddie Tom.
Okay.
And I would love if y'all followed me. I don't have a website. That is in the works.
Those are hard to do.
They're very hard to do.
And like, go ahead.
Especially like trying to sell stuff, and
Yeah.
then you have to decide what shipping you want to be. Well, obviously I do U.S. only because I don't think I could afford to get it to other places. Sorry, y'all. If other countries are watching,
you gotta pay for like
it's
it to
expensive.
get. Especially Japan stuff, like you
Yes.
gotta have like a whole system for that stuff.
You
know?
do.
Yeah.
And so that would be something I definitely wouldn't do, but that's in the works. And then I have an Etsy store, which is just my business name, retrochic.homewares.
Okay.
And Facebook Marketplace, look up Madison Thomas, and then I have some stuff on Facebook Marketplace. So I'm literally selling stuff all over all the time.
No, that's incredible.
Yeah.
I was gonna say there was. Last question. How do you always be yourself when you wake up?
Okay. I'm big on back to the fashion thing. I like to pick clothes based off my personality for the day.
Yeah.
So that's also why my fashion sense is always changing, because it's really just what I'm feeling that day.
Right.
Like I go in there as like a clean slate and then think about how I'm feeling or what I want to project into the world that day, and then wear that. And that kind of helps me be me, because it's like I'm putting my personality in my clothes for the day. And like I'm also someone who's kind of like a chameleon in a sense of like I'm not always having the same moods change all the time, but I just say I'm a chameleon because my mood's constantly changing. Some days I'll wake up and I'm like ready to go get it, and then other days I'm like, okay, I can go to sleep for another hour, but I still have to wake up.
But for you to be able to push yourself consistently, even being here, this is your first podcast, right?
This is.
Like for you to be able to push yourself to get on something and never done it before and do a great job of not just being present, but talking and telling your story.
I think a lot of that has to play with how I was telling you earlier, I did pageants. And so in pageants, like your first step is an interview. And so, like, a lot of the girls, like, train for interviews for pageants. Like, there's, like, interview classes that you could do.
That's cool. I did not know that.
And so I did that. And so I think that translates to, like, now. Like, I go into interviews, and they're like, I feel like I know you. But it's only because I practice to, like, on that craft. And interviewing is something that, or even, like, this podcast, you have to really, perfect your craft.
Yeah, you do.
You can't go in there
and no, just like don't. I just think people try too hard, man. That's the problem. That's why I see a lot of these podcasts, and I'm like, the longevity of it is going to down because you're trying to get these perfect questions. You
Exactly.
know? One thing about podcasts I've learned is you're not going to get everything that you want to talk about in every episode.
No.
Because it got to like 60 and I'm over here beating myself up when people leave because I'm like, dang, I didn't talk about this, or I said their business wrong or their name wrong and stuff. Like I
think that's the thing about, like, you're very organic with what you post. And so I think that makes people comfortable enough to, like, want to come and do interviews with you.
Yeah, you think that.
And, like, you can't beat yourself up on, like, things that happen because it's organic. Like, that's your whole system.
Yeah, right.
And it translates to your feed. And I think that's the other people who are just too micromanaging all the small things, and they miss the big picture of being organic.
Views or followers or subscribers or the biggest thing that kills me is a lot of people hop on the pod and be like, this interview is going to blow up, like this is going to get 1,000 views, and I'm like, dog, this is not why we're doing this. Like, my platform is meant to spread awareness and love, like not. I don't care, I could die tomorrow.
Yeah,
like
we all could.
What am I gonna sit here and be like, I don't got enough followers, I can't do this
Exactly.
video. So
you can't take them with you when you go.
You can't take that, and you can't take hate. You can take love though. Love always transcends whenever you pass away, because I just don't think nobody's born with hate,
Yeah.
But
we're taught to hate.
Yeah, you're taught to hate whenever you're whatever your surroundings are.
Yeah.
So I do a question thing, and I haven't done it in a while, but this one has been such a good interview that I kind of want to do it real quick.
Let's do it.
So do you have your phone by chance on you?
I can go grab it.
If you can, pull out your timer.
Okay.
And put a minute, and then I'll tell you whenever I start the first question, I'll just say start.
Okay, hold on.
So you're gonna answer. It's either this one. It's either red or blue.
Okay.
You know what I mean?
Okay, got it.
And you're gonna answer
this or
within
that.
a minute. Yeah.
Okay.
All right.
Are you gonna tell me which one's red and which one's blue?
No. I'm just gonna tell you like which one do you prefer?
Oh, okay.
One or the other. This or that. This one or that. This
got
or
it,
that.
got it.
You can start now.
Done.
Plane or car?
Plane.
Say a word in Spanish.
Hola.
Rap or country?
Rap.
Favorite color?
Pink.
Early bird or night owl?
Night owl.
Coffee or tea?
Coffee.
Cat or dog?
Cat.
Movies or television?
Television.
First job?
Server.
Favorite shopping store?
Thrift store all day. Goodwill.
Would you ever skydive?
Yes.
Summer or winter?
Summer.
Deepest fear?
That goes so far. I deepest fear being in love with a man, then he doesn't love me at the end of the day.
That's deep.
Like getting married.
That'd
be so scary.
That would be crazy. How tall are you?
I'm 5'5".
Favorite holiday?
Christmas.
Flip flop or shoes?
Flip flop.
How long does it take you to get ready?
About 30 minutes.
Do you snore?
Yes, sometimes.
Cake or pie?
Pie.
And then last one, what's the capital of Albany? Or what's the capital of New York?
Oh, you heard Shawn Mendes?
That was like a weird, I think.
Capital of New York?
Yeah.
I don't know.
Oh, I said it. I said Albany. I'm glad you didn't catch that one. But
Madison's obviously not good at geography. Don't ask her any questions about anything.
But that's a trick one, like, because people hear New York, New York.
Yeah.
So they think the
I
capital
was literally
is New
going to
York.
say, I was
you
thinking
know?
New York, New York.
So-
But see, thank gosh Maps is a thing, like
Yeah.
Google Maps.
Yeah.
When the power grid goes out and like something happens with our phones, that's when I'll try to figure out how to
I
learn.
mean,
Just get a map,
it's-
road map, and just hope for the best.
the world we live in now, it's like, how do you, I mean, we don't need all that anymore,
Yeah.
you know? Like, we have so many ways to see things now and learn things.
Yeah.
And it's really kind of scary, to be honest. So
I feel like I pick and choose where I put my knowledge into. So like I love like learning about history. So I can like watch movies about like history and like or like watch podcasts about it. Like that's kind of I think I put a lot of my knowledge or like what I learn into that.
Yeah.
And then that kind of goes with my like vintage homewares because I learn about each piece and like where it derived from, like its purpose.
And you got to know that though, because
It-
if not, then like when you do have some people who want to purchase your type of stuff, you can't just be like, this is this.
Exactly.
This is the table.
Yeah.
You know, you got to be able to actually talk.
And it makes them understand it better because a lot of the times, like, you just have this ashtray and they're like, they see it, but then they don't know the story behind it. So then it kind of entices them to be like, okay, let me learn about some more products of yours.
Right.
Eventually works out in a sale most of the time, which is awesome. That's
But it's
what
good
it's all about.
Yeah, it's good for the person and
Yeah.
the buyer too. But I would yeah, I think I already asked you your social. I think that's about it, honestly. I feel like we really covered a lot more than what I normally do. Please go check her out.
Please do.
I love you guys. Oh, go ahead.
Thank you for having me.
Yeah,
I appreciate
yeah.
it. And if you're not already following him, what are you doing?
Yeah, no. We will change the world. I love you
Yes.
guys. Stay true to yourself. The only way to achieve your dreams is through you. No one else is going to do it. You got to get up every single day and grind harder than me, Madison over there, and Kiwi that is probably not on camera, but y'all saw her majority of the interview. So love you guys. Subscribe down below and comment down your favorite food. Random.
Thank you. That is
Peace.
great.